Jim Kramer has some really bad news for us Bitcoiners. He says, CNBC on CNBS or whatever, you can't kill Bitcoin and it's here to stay. You know what? That's the first time that I've ever agreed with him. Unfortunately, I have to agree with him on this. He also kicked Charlie Munger in the grave by saying this: you can't kill Bitcoin. The late Charlie Munger was blind to this. Wow. Okay, cool. You know what? At least he said some truth. You know, this is the same guy that told the entire world to buy Bear Stearns right before it collapsed. You know how many people lost money from listening to Jim Kramer? Please don't listen to Jim Kramer. He's only for entertainment purposes, and he's not even a good entertainer, so just don't even watch him. With that said, happy birthday, Bitcoin. 15 years ago, January 3rd, 2009 was the Genesis block. The Genesis block was the first Bitcoin block ever mined. And why did this happen? Because they were Satoshi wanted to separate state and money, which is actually happening right now. But first, let's go over a really cool tweet by Danny Marquez on Twitter. He says, this is some really cool stats that he came out with. MicroStrategy has 19.5 times more Bitcoin than Coinbase. MicroStrategy owns 189,150 Bitcoin, totaling $8.5 billion. MicroStrategy owns 0.9% of the total supply, so almost 1%. Coinbase, however, has a much lower average price of $14,246 versus Sailor, who has an average price of $31,168. Marathon Mining Company, their average price is $20,000, $895. So why do I bring this up? I bring this up because there's going to be a ton of competition to who can own the most Bitcoin out there. So it's going to be a tug of war between all these major entities. Meanwhile, we're sitting here styling, especially if you're part of our learningcrypto.com, the CT Club, you will know what we are getting into, what coins we were buying, and how long we've been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. We front ran everyone, which is really nice. And now we can just sit back and relax and watch these guys scramble to be king of the hill. And why would you want to be king of the hill? Because right now, today, the national debt in the United States passed $34 trillion for the first time ever. That number, as you know my stance for years now, this will never, ever go away. You can't vote your way out of this. It's not going to happen. It's just going to keep on going up and up and up, and inflation is going to keep going higher and higher and higher, which guess what loves inflation, monetary inflation? Bitcoin, because it's an inelastic asset. That means you cannot make any more Bitcoin than what is going to be existing in the future, which is 21 million minus about 4 or 5 million Bitcoin that are going to be lost forever. Very amazing asset class. It's one of a kind. So I keep hearing about like Bitcoin has been is topped. You know, the ETF has been completely priced in. Let me cover what Mike Alfred said on Twitter. He says the same people who said that the spot Bitcoin ETF was priced in at $26,000 are now saying that the spot Bitcoin ETF approval is a sell the news event. Be very careful with the people you listen to on here. Most of these people have no idea what they are talking about. They absolutely do not have any idea what they're talking about. Literally, they are just puppeting what they hear from other people. They're unable to make up their own mind on this stuff. For me, I don't really like to listen to too much of this stuff. I can make my own decision, and I've done pretty good, especially with our learningcrypto.com members. Now, I do think that we are going to top later on this year. I do not think we are going to have a multi-year bull market. That's my personal opinion. I don't think that BlackRock and all of their friends, which are not your friends, are going to allow retail to take their time to accumulate another 6 months and then ride up the wave. That's not how things work in BlackRock land. And they are the king of the hill, and they will be the king of the hill. All right, that's all I have. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.